3, chapter number 3, verse 3, we start with the Megillah. Okay.
Verse 13.
verse 13, verse 13. אוקיי. ונשלוח הספרים ביד הרצים אל כל מדינות המלך להשמיד, להרוג ולאבד את כל היהודים, מנער ועד זקן, טף ונשים, ביום אחד, ב13 לחודש 12, הוא חודש אדר, ושללם לבוז.
Letters were sent by courier to all the king's provinces to destroy, to slay, and to exterminate all Jews, young and old, children and women, in a single day, the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month of Adar, and to plunder their possessions.
Okay, it sounds simple, נכון? If you read it, it sounds Haman Arasha planning to kill us all in one day. How can you kill entire Jewish nation in one day? Question number one. How can you do that? Question number two that you have to ask, Rabotai, did you see how he want to kill us? Did you realize how does Mr. Haman, Yimach Shemo v'zichro, wanted to kill the Jewish people that was in the 127 provinces that was underneath Ahashverosh? Did you realize what he said here? So let's go together and let's see what he wanted to say. It said to destroy, remember the word, to destroy, to kill, and to wipe out all the Jews in one day. How can you do that? You know, if you look carefully what's happened in the world, Syria's war, it's one country. One country. They can't finish. Now it's 3 years. The crushing from the air that the Syrian army, and they still can't finish with the rebel. How did Haman wanted to destroy the entire Jewish nation in one day, to kill them all? And look what he said. Look how he wanted to do that. The young, the old, the infant, and the woman, and all in single. In one day. How can you do all of it in one day? Anyone have any idea? Did you thought about it, what it say here? Do we understand what Haman planned here?
Do we have any idea as to how many people we're talking about? How many Jews were there?
Look, Asher Ugleta, that it was, if I'm not mistaken, we're talking about easily few million. Now you must understand that when we're talking about that when they gone where? They gone to Babylon. That's when Nebuchadnezzar Dan took all the Jews completely out. He left Eretz Israel with no Jews. He took them to Babylon. From Babylon, part of them already gone to Israel, because we explained that the time of the Megillat Esther is between the 70 years that was between the destruction of the second temple between the first temple to the second temple. You understand? So part of the Jews was in Israel that allowed to go and to build Bet HaMikdash. In the time of Ahashverosh, we explained on the first shiur that he stopped it because Haman convinced him and his kids. Shimshi, that was one of his sons. Shimshi was a writer, and he wrote a lot of things to stop hatred letter against the Jewish people. Okay, but we have to understand now how many people he wanted to kill. And how can you kill in one day, and how he wanted to kill. So it's definitely, let's give it a figure of 1 million. I'm sure that it's more than 1 million easily. The point become, Hitler, Yimach Shemo v'zichro, didn't succeed, Baruch Hashem. Neither Haman. But Hitler had a few good years to do that, and he never succeeded. How did Haman was planning to do that? Anyone have any idea? Sorry? Poison. David said poison. Mark?
Parties all over the place in one place.
Party all the Jews in one place, and then to put a bomb or to kill them, to shoot them. Okay, so I tell you what, it will never happen. Plague. Go bring on them plague. How are you going to find that all of them in the same area? So I'll tell you how we planned it. Listen to how Haman HaRasha, how the Amalekim hate us. They hate us, and that's why we have a mitzvah, Rabotai. We have a mitzvah to destroy them. We have to understand why the Torah tells us that if you walk on a street and you see Amalek, you're allowed to kill him. Not only that you're allowed, you're obligated to kill him. But today, unfortunately, we don't know who's Amalek, who's not. Haman planned, spiritually. No, here we're talking physically. Laharog. Look, listen what he said. Laharog, to kill them.
Amalek translated means?
Amalek. That's his name, Amalek. There is no other translation. Amalek is the one that separates the Jewish people from God. That's what we're supposed to kill him. On a pshat, there is more into it. That we explain. I don't know if you never was in a show of the Kaddish, no? No, you never. So we explain when we say Kaddish, just for you to understand, when we say Amen, Yehei, Shemei, Rabba, Mevorach, Leolam, Ulmei, Ulmaya, we should remember the Yud-Kei, Vav-Kei should join together. That means to separate the Amalekim out, because they were causing the separation between us and the Almighty. Okay. Haman planned something very nicely. Baruch Hashem, it didn't work. He offered for each head that anyone will kill money. Rabotai, listen to what I'm saying. Each person that you kill, you get money. That means you kill 10 people, you get rewards for 10 people. But on one condition, that you do it in one day. Not only that, if you wipe entire family, you take the entire house. You can loot it. Who wouldn't do that? There's poor people. They want money. You see what's happening in Kiev? You saw what's happened. It takes a few minutes to cause a coup. Haman HaRasha planned that as much that you kill, you get more money. Every head, there is a reward. Don't stop. From the morning to the night, you're killing, you're getting money. I want to give you money. That was his say. Not only that, as much that you wipe more family, you take all what the position. It's unbelievable. Okay? So that's how we plan to do it in one day. But let's carry on and understand how he wanted to do it. He said like this, to destroy, to kill, and to wipe out all the Jews. Why? We have to understand what he say here, Haman HaRasha. So number one, let's start. First, you kill. Who you kill? You kill the youngest. You start with the youngest. Then you move to the older, to the youths. Then you kill the bit more older, the parents. Then you kill the grandparents. And if there is grandparents, then you kill them in the end. Why? He said that first, it's not enough just to kill Rabotai. He wanted to show and to hurt the Jewish people so much that when the father sees the kids dying, he rather die not to see his kids dying. He wanted to cause so much pain, so much harm to the Jewish people that he wanted to start with who first? With the little one. So when we're going to read the Megillah, please God, on Motzei Shabbos, when we get to that verse, we have to remember what Haman HaRasha done. We have to understand why the Torah commands us to kill every Amalek. They have no mercy for us. Therefore, the Torah kills us. You should completely mehed zecher Amalek. You should wipe. Not only kill them, wipe them out. The zecher Amalek. Now we understand a bit. We just touched it. I didn't even go through. Let's go to chapter 4, because we're not going to, that's the last show on the Megillah, we're not going to have enough time. In verse Tet Zayin. Verse Tet Zayin, that's mean 16. 16. Rabotai, chapter 4, 16. And here we see what Esther, after the decree became, that Ahashverosh agreed to what Haman wanted to do to the Jewish people. Esther HaMalka says something very interesting. Let's see what she said. לך כנוס את כל היהודים הנמצאים בשושן וצומו עליי, ואל תאכלו ואל תשלו 3 ימים, לילה ויום, גם אני ונערותיי אצום כן. ובכן אבוא אל המלך אשר לא כדת, וכאשר עבדתי.
Go, assemble all the Jews to be found in Shushan and fast for me. Do not eat or drink for 3 days, night or day. I with my maids will fast also. Then I will go into the king, though it's unlawful, and if I perish, I perish.
Okay. Look what Esther said. וצומו עליי, you should fast for me. What do you mean you should fast for you? And then look what she said. ואל תאכלו ואל תשתו. You should not drink and you should not eat. If you're fasting, obviously you're not drinking, you're not eating. Why did Esther have to say that? That's number one. Then it said, look what it said. 3 ימים. Why 3 ימים? Anyone have any idea? So there is here a few questions. If you're fasting, number one, you're not eating, you're not drinking. נכון? להבדיל from the Muslim people. They allowed to eat at night and to drink at night. That's called for them a fast. For us a fast, it's proper ta'anit, when we're really suffering. So what did she say here still? Al tukhlu ve'al tishtu. Utsumu alai. What does it mean, tsumu alai? You should fast on me. Why? We're fasting for Esther? Anyone any idea what's happening here? So to give you the background to understand that, when is the fast was supposed to be? Anyone know?
Pesach time.
Pesach time. Rabotai, Leil HaSeder. That's when Esther and Mordechai decide to fast. Do you people understand that? Leil HaSeder. Now we're going to understand what she said. What it means, Vetsumu alai? We know that we have a mitzvah, the Oraita, that the first night of Pesach we have to eat matzah, nachon? So it says, Chlu. Shtu, what other mitzvah we have? To drink 4 cups of wine. That's what she's saying. What it mean, Vetsumu alai? That means that if has v'shalom will be avera from that, I'll take all the sin on me. You are absolutely no avera on you. So let's understand what she's saying. Esther said to Mordechai, gather all the Jewish people together. I want them all together. It's going to be Erev Pesach. Erev Pesach, no one sitting on a table. No matzah. No 4 cups of wine. Nothing. Fast. Mordechai said to her, how can you say such thing? It's a mitzvah deoraita. It's a mitzvah from the Torah. She said to him, Mordechai, if the Jewish people not going to fast now, will be no one to celebrate anymore Hag Sukkot. Mordechai agreed with her. And immediately she said to them, tell everyone, gather them all together. No one will eat. No one will drink. Now we understand what she said. That you're obligating to fast. Ve'al tochlu ve'al tishtu. Don't eat the matzah. Don't drink the 4 cup of wine. That's what she's referring to. Then what did she say? Vetsumu alai. If the entire Jewish people fast on Pesach day, and that's considered as a avera, I'm taking all the averot of all the Jewish people on me. And they're not going to have any avera. Now we understand what Esther is saying here. Vetsumu alai ve'al tuchlu ve'al tishtu. When we read it, it sounds very simple. But we have to look at the mefarshim, what they say. Rabotai, what's the moral here? What's the idea here? It's come to teach us that when the Jewish people and die straight and there is decree, nothing can stop the decree. Only one thing. Look up to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, fast, say you're sorry, everything will change. But from all the heart. From here we see the power of the fast. We take Yom Kippur as a punishment. We should take it as one of the best things that we win. When a person wins a jackpot, oh, he's so happy. Every Yom Kippur for us is a jackpot. Why? We get a new life. When we fast and we're standing in the front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and we're saying, look, we like angel. We don't eat, we don't drink. We don't do averot. HaKadosh Baruch Hu forgive us. Now we understand how Esther HaMalka saved the entire Jewish nation. I'm going to skip. We're going to go to chapter 6 I want to go. Verse 12, because we don't have a lot of time. So I want to go quite a bit through the Megillah, because we done part of it. So in verse 12, what page are we? Chapter 6? 1258 at the Art Scroll. And it says like this. וישב מרדכי, where is it? Yeah. וישב מרדכי אל שער המלך, והמן נדחף אל ביתו, אבל וחפוי ראש. אבל וחפוי ראש.
Mordechai returned to the king's gate, but Haman hurried home, despondent and with his head covered.
Okay. Listen to the word, והמן אבל. אבל, it's someone that, לא עלינו, is mourning. חפוי ראש, that his head actually completely covered. With what he was covered? Covered with what? Mourning about what? So let's understand what's happening here. Here we're talking about what the Megillah tells us, that it was after Haman marched with Mordechai in the city of Shushan, after he dressed up. We explained that in the previous Shorim that he dressed up Mordechai. And I don't know if I mentioned that, but the Gemara in Masechet Megillah tells us, I think in page 16, if I'm not mistaken, don't hold me into it, the Gemara in Masechet Megillah say that you know that Haman, you remember what we said in the first show, what was the history of Haman? Anyone remember? Yeah?
He was Mordechai's slave.
He was Mordechai's slave, and one more. What he used to do?
Cut people's hair.
He was a barber. For 22 years, Rabotai, listen what the Gemara tells us. In a place that called, in a village that called Kartzom. Remember the name? Kartzom. That's the village, Kartzom. He was 22 years a barber. Now Mordechai fasting. What did Ahashverosh commanded Haman to do? To take him out, to dress him up, to wash him. The Midrash said that Esther put a decree to entire place that all the shops, all the barber shops to close on that day. All the Batei Merhatz, that mean wherever they can go and wash themselves. In the olden days, they didn't have running facility water. Shut off everything. All the spa places to close down. Haman have to wash Mordechai. Not only that, he have to cut his hair because he can't dress up when he come in the front of the king. Mordechai said to Haman, listen, I want you to cut my hair. You and me, we was in the army. I remember you was a barber for 22 years. Go bring the scissors, cut my hair. After that, he dressed him up. Mordechai said, listen, I'm too tired to climb into the horse. You have to help me to climb up. Haman agreed, doesn't have a choice. When he climbed up, the Gemara say that Haman given a good kick in the ribs of Haman. Haman asked him, why did you done it? The Torah tells us, B'nfol oivecha al tismach, that means when you see your enemy falling, don't be happy. Mordechai said to him, that's referring to a Jewish person, not to a goy. But it said that when it's referring to a goy, you should actually destroy him, especially a goy like you. And as he finished the verse, the Midrash said that he gave him another kick. May please God, it will continue like this. But let's understand what's happening here. Ve'aman nidhaf el beitzo, and then Haman ran to his house, been pushed to his house. Avel. Why Avel? A mourner. Why is he mourning? V'hafui rosh, and his head is covered. Why? He was embarrassed. From what? So the Midrash tells us, Rabotai, it's speaking in the Midrashim, The Gemarot, the Mefarshim speak about it. All our sages say that when Haman was marching on the street and carrying the horse, leading the horse, and Mordechai was sitting on the horse of Ahashverosh and wearing the clothes of Ahashverosh, you have to say, Kacha ya'aseh la'ish asher amelech hafetz bi'ikaro. And you know, all the children, all the students of Mordechai was running after him and making noise. They passed on the street of the daughter of Haman. The daughter saw that big performance. Immediately she ran to the toilet. You know, they didn't have a running facility. She ran gone to bring all the waste, human waste. I don't have to mention to you what it means. And they used to keep it on a pot. And she didn't realize, she was thinking that her father sitting on a horse. And Mordechai is the one that's carrying, leading the horse. And the Midrash tells us that she poured it on the top of her father's head. Imagine that, what the smell. Not only that, Haman lifted up his eyes, wanted to see who done it. Who did he see? His daughter. His daughter immediately realized what she done. She was so frightened. She got into panic. She threw herself from the top balcony and she died. So when it says now in the pasuk, Ve'aman itchafel beto Avel. Avel, you know why he was Avel? Why he was a mourner? That his daughter died. Hafui rosh, his head was covered. Why? Because he was full of human waste. Lo aleinu. Now we understand the pasuk. When we read it, what does it mean? Let's continue to, how much time we have? We don't have a lot of time. Okay. Let's go, I'm going to skip now. Let's go to chapter 7, verse 8. And here, in verse 8, here we're talking about the Mishteh, that Haman been invited. Okay? And here become the final decree. That was the final decision of Haman, but we have to understand what's happening here. והמלך שב מגינת הביתן אל בית משתה היין, והמן נופל על המיטה, אשר אסתר עליה. ויאמר המלך, הגם לכבוש את המלכה עמי בבית? הדבר יצא מפי המלך, ופני המן חפו.
When the king returned from the palace garden to the banquet room, Haman was prostrated on the couch upon which Esther was. So the king exclaimed, would he actually assault the queen while I'm in the house? As soon as the king uttered this, they covered Haman's face.
Anyone have any idea what's happening here? To understand that, we have to start from the beginning. Esther made 2 feasts. Why did she have to make 2 feasts? We spoke about it, I think, last year, but I'm just going to go through it quick. Esther wasn't sure if she can decide to tell Ahashverosh how bad it was Haman. So she wanted to feel what's happening there. So the first feast that they had is to feel the gut feeling of Ahashverosh. When she saw that Ahashverosh actually is in a good mood, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu actually going to give him to put the decree on Haman, she decided immediately to make again. The following day, another feast. The following day, that was the day that Haman was marching with Mordechai. That's when he came. When they brought him to the house of Ahashverosh, he was full of human waste. Rabotai, he was stink. So listen what it says. והמלך שב מגינת הביתן. Hamelech couldn't take the smell while he was sitting on a feast. So he walked out. He wanted fresh air. What did he saw outside? He gone to look. His beautiful rose garden. HaKadosh Baruch Hu sent the angels, Malachei Hasharet. They looked like the children of Haman. Haman see them cutting trees, taking the trees. Couldn't understand. He said, what are you people doing here? He said, we are the children of Haman. Our father commanded us to destroy this garden, and only the good trees and the good flower will take it to his own garden. He said, who told you that? Our father, Haman. He said, what? He immediately turned back to the banquet. He wanted to see what's happening there. What's happened there? He saw Haman falling down on a bed of Esther. Wait. In a banquet you have bed? There's no bed. It was bed. How did they used to feast? They used to have kind of couches that they used to lie down, and that's how they used to eat and drink in the olden days. What's happened there? The Midrash tells us, listen what's happened. The Malach Gabriel, the angel Gabriel came and pushed Ace. Ahashverosh walked inside the room of the banquet. He pushed Haman on top of the bed. Ahashverosh suddenly realized what's cooking on here. What did he say to Haman? Listen what he said to Haman. Hagam likvosh et hamalka imi babayit? Are you coming to take my own queen in my house? Why did he say that? Now we start to understand what Haman planned. The plot of Haman was very simple. Haman was plotting in the end to kill Ahashverosh. Not just that. What has he done first thing? Who is he killed? King Vashti. You remember the Queen Vashti. Now, you want to kill the second queen that I have, the one that I love. Now I understand what you're planning to do. You actually come from where? Where did Haman come from? From the gutters. Aha, you planting now, not enough you killed my first wife that was, we explain who she was, the daughter of Belshazzar. Some opinions say that she was the daughter of Avil Merodach. All different opinions. But where was her heritage? She had a royal blood. So you killed her because she realized who you are. Now that you see that I have another queen, you want to kill her also. Why? Because in the end, you're going to kill me. The Midrash tells us that what's happened? Ahashverosh was dreaming that Haman wanted to kill him. And suddenly he see all what's happening. He put one and one, and that's it. And he realized what Haman plotting to do, and the decree came to hang him on a tree. May please God, I'm going to conclude with that the same like Haman being hanged and being killed, may all the enemy of the Jewish people that really hate us and want to destroy us, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will turn on the top of them and will destroy them and kill them. And I hope that when you read the Megillah, please God, on Motzei Shabbos and on Sunday morning, it will give you a different view how to look at the Megillah. Shukran.